Well, hello. My name is Sandy Bergen, and welcome to Yahuwah's Game. It's just a ride in the Matrix. I've been trying to get this video recorded. This is probably my fourth time. Hopefully, my computer won't crash again. Um, I do these for the glory of Yahuwah, my 3 daughters, and my 2 granddaughters. The perfect host does not know it has a parasite, just like the perfect mind control victim does not know they're mind controlled. And today is May 10th, 2017, 05202017. Still learning about heaven. And I wanted to talk this evening about etymology. It's a word that I only learned a couple years ago, and Spirit's have been telling me to make a little short video on it to share what I've learned, even though I'm not an expert by any means. But it's a word that only came into my psychic, into my vocabulary approximately 2 years ago when I was listening with Jordan Maxwell, who I've listened to several of his shows and interviews, and he's kind of an expert on words and spellings and etymology. And I highly recommend that you check him out and check into more of what I'm speaking about. Etymology is ETYMOLOGY. And it's pronounced with the D instead of the T, etymology. Etymology. And I looked up the definition of it earlier today on Google, and it says a chronological account of the birth and development of a particular word or element of a word, often delineating its spread from one language to another and its evolving changes in form and meaning. So it's a chronological account of the birth, the beginning, and development of a particular word or element of a word, and how it spreads from one language to another and its evolving changes in form and meaning. See, they could change the meaning of words so that it would sway the populace, the society, to think that that's the meaning of the word. And they use words. Words are spells. That's why when you were in grammar school, you sat in class and you were taught how to spell. You were taught words, and hence why they put spells on you. And, a witch or a warlock will use words for spells. And they do use things like a piece of hair or putting something in a shoe and putting a hex on you. And but a spell is words and spelling. And etymology is how they use words, and it's a hidden meaning of words. Like the first analogy that I have is what Jordan taught, which was about corporation. And I had learned that we were born as American citizens, and so we're owned by the United States government. But he put it in as we're born with birth certificates in the United States and probably in most countries. And our name is in caps. And when you have a name in caps on some kind of certificate, it means you're a corporation. It means you're owned. A corporation is owned. So hence you're a corporation owned by the Republic of the United States of America. And hence that's why when our bodies die or we're considered dead, or when we depart what I call these meat suits, we're called a corpse because you're a dead corporation. And that was one of the first ones that Jordan taught me. And the ones that I'm going to share today are like 5 that came to me in the last couple days. And I was like, I need to share this. And so also Jordan shared about the birth certificate. He said your name's all in caps, so you're a corporation, you're owned, but you also have your foot stamped. Your soul is stamped on it. And that's when I was already been thinking about why they call our soul S-O-U-L, which is our infinite spirit, our essence. And then they also named the bottom of your foot the soul, S-O-L-E. And I'm like, you know, the spirit is so divine, and it's such a precious thing. And then why would they put the bottom of your foot? But see, your foot has chakras in it. And there's a great possibility that spirits can enter and exit through the feet. And when you think about what the practice was in Asia, or I don't know if it was China or Japan or all of them, that they would take the women and bind their feet. They'd bind their souls. And it was supposed to be for beauty, but it could also have been some kind of way to think that they're binding the souls of the feminine, because they didn't do it for the men. They did it for the women. And it's intriguing that the soul, the infinite power soul of the body, is also called the soul of the feet. Okay, another one was patience. The word patience, it's like a good thing, right? You have to have patience, and to be a patient person is a good person. And then you have the word patience. The patients are under the doctor's care, and she was such a good patient. And the patients believe that the doctors and nurses are giving them the best care possible, when there's nothing near it, that illness makes money. And just knowing there's a cure for cancer, cannabis and CG-GAF, and the good patients take the doctor's orders and get the chemotherapy and get the radiation. You know, they think that that being a patient is a good thing. I mean, I've often heard people say, oh, my mother or oh, my father got very ill, and basically worshiped the doctors and took all their pills, and didn't question anything, and kept saying, well, the doctor says it's for my best interest, and it's doctor's orders. And when you look at the word patience, and then they make you into a patient, it's psychological. You don't want to be a patient of anybody. You want to be able to heal yourself, first of all, to know that your energy vibrating to a frequency, and there's energy healing. And that's another whole thing. But yeah, the patience and patience. Where did they come up with that? And what's the psychological meaning of it? And free and freedom. You know, oh, it's free. Oh, go to free listings on Craigslist, or buy one, get one free. It's free, it's good. And remember, you're free, and we have freedom. United States of America is freedom. No, there is nothing free here. There's nothing free here. It has 24/7 surveillance, taxation without representation. A third of your paycheck of a yearly salary goes right off the top to federal and state, and lots of times city tax. And then everything you do at home is taxed. All your home is taxed, your electricity, your cable, your night on the town. Whoever served you at any place you might have went to is taxed. You're taxed for your water. You pay for everything. There's nothing free here. It's an oxymoron, if that's whatever that means, an oxymoron. It makes no sense when we have to fight for freedom. But boy, it's free. That's good. And you know, they're giving you a free Obama phone, and you know, take your food stamps. It's free. Well, it's because you're so poor, because they want you to be subservient to them. So they give you these things while they keep you in suppression and keep you in delusion that you're free. And there is no freedom. Okay, democracy and demon. Where do they come up making the word democracy when demon is a known bad word? demons. There's the demons. The Christians were, oh, there's no aliens. They're just demons. And the jinn. And for, I think, the Muslims. And then we have democracy, which the whole beginning is demon. They just have the N off. Democracy. And democracy is supposed to be good. And it's supposed to help the people. And the people have a voice under democracy. And we vote in our Democrats and our Republicans. And is it any coincidence that it has the word demon in it when they've had tricked us for so many millenniums? Not just centuries, for thousands of years they've been tricking us. Government. Govern means mind control. Government means mind control. I can look it up perfectly. That just came to me. Okay, change. Okay, change. Such an important word. It was used with how many administrations? Obama, we are the change. Excuse me. I'd rather have the sneezes than have my computer crash. I'm going to try to get through this. I don't know how many minutes I'm at, but it crashed like 20 minutes both times. We are the change. Change. You have to change yourself to change the world. You have to look at yourself and change. Change. And yet they call change for loose change. Oh, it was only my change. Here, you can have my change. It's just change. Here, yeah, it's only the change for my $20 bill. Or I'm just going to go change my clothes. You know, like change is no big deal. Well, change is huge. To change the world, we have to change ourselves. And to change, we have to change the things we cannot accept, not accept the things we cannot change. The word change, and then they made it into something so trivial as it's only the change. Throw the change in the jar, or just, you know, it's only my change. Well, why would they put those two words? It's such different meanings, and yet there's something psychological about it. And I know all about the psychology of words, and being an MK Ultra Monarch Project overcomer. I hate the word survivor. I know all about double talk and how the words are twisted. You know, like you're in a hot place and it's called Winter Haven, or, you know, double down, or upright, or I don't know. That's not, well, I wasn't going to go into that today about the double talk and the trigger words and all of that. Yeah, okay, NASA, NASA, the Hebrew root for that, the Hebrew meaning is deceive, and there is root words to Latin and to Spanish, or to Arabic, and Greek, and Hebrew, and NASA has been very big liars, and there actually been NASA employees caught by ordering porn off the internet with children as young as 3 years old. And all you have to do is Google it, what I'm saying. NASA employees caught with porn. It's right there. And you want to believe that the Earth is a globe. It makes a lot of sense to me that they put a lot of fake pictures up. And we know the moon landing was faked. It was Kubrick who made that whole filming of the fake moon landing in 1969, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So this word love, L-O-V-E, spell it backwards. It's E-V-O-L. Yeah. Evolve. It's the beginning of the word evolve. Evolve. It was just missing the last V and E. Spell evil backwards. It's L-I-V-E, live. We live in evil. And sure, there's some beauty, and there's a lot of beauty in the planet and Mama Gaia and nature, but there's a lot of evil, and a lot of malicious things going on and nefarious government programs. So evil and live is backwards. I wonder if that's a coincidence. And there's also the Mandela effect that has changed the Bible. It's in Isaiah. I think it's 6. I didn't look it up. It's Isaiah. Everybody knows. And the lion will lay with the lamb. And it's changed now to the wolf will lay with the lamb. And we all know about what a wolf is, a wolf in sheep's clothing. And isn't it something that, oh, it's just the Mandela effect. I couldn't believe it when it was pointed out. And I went back to my old time Bible that I've read cover to cover many times. And I know that scripture, and it was the wolf and the lamb will lay together. So, of course, reaction freaked me out. Oh, then they can suck up the energy. Suck it up. That's what they do. The parasites, the mind maggots. Yeah. Okay. So I did that. Okay. Now, as far as words and what they're doing with them, it goes back in 1984, George Orwell's book that he wrote in the end of the 1940s, that he named 1984. They had the thought people, and they would change the dictionary for words for meaning to fit the time, and to keep the proles, the lower people, the slaves, or you could call it goyim. They keep us all pacified. They would control the language. They would control the words and what the words meant, and they would apply the meanings to how they wanted the psychic of the herd to perceive these words. And I had my last handler, Brian, and he had his 2 grandsons visiting, and we went, and they were very strange little boys. I wrote about it in my book. We went out to dinner, and the one boy says to the other one, "Grandma's cray-cray." And the other boy says, "Doctor," and it was like Oompa Loompas or something, says, "We can't say cray-cray." And the other boy gives this funny look, like, oops, and says, then he goes, "But I'm going on a spaceship." And I was like, "I bet you are." Anyways, I was still watching TV that same year, and the end of that year, there's on major news media station, very important report about new words that are being added to the dictionary, and they listed some words, and it came up with cray-cray, C-R-A-Y, C-R-A-Y, which means crazy, which you would think. But how did these boys know that word? Like, it was just odd. And then I was looking at the candy rack the other day, and I had noticed Snickers stopped writing Snickers on their bar, and they would have these different words, and like maybe foghat or something. But it was cray-cray in big bold letters. There's the words cray-cray right on it, and I show when you're pushing words into the vocabulary, and who usually buys candy but kids. Who looks at all the candy bars and stuff? Kids. Yeah, putting words into our psyche. And I just hope this helps you to maybe get an idea about the power of words. And I think I covered it all. I'm going to go ahead and cut out now. Make sure I did all my notes. Yeah, looks good. So, yeah, I hope this helps, and I might share something else depending on how this one goes. Maybe about clones or something. Okay, thanks.